Oh man. Gosh, this couch does not promote good posture. I was all stressing out at my mom's. And then I don't know if I told you, but she decided that we should watch a documentary on like those terrorist attacks in France where it was like the Eagles of Death Metal were playing. I just remember that band name. I don't really know who they are, but at the Bataclan or whatever, and like
Yeah.
yeah, machine guns and guys blowing themselves up and all this. Apparently, they attacked like several places and like I don't know, would go from one restaurant to a bar and then ended up at the Bataclan or whatever. So it was like a really bad scenario. I kind of forgot about that. 'Cause apparently that was like 5 years ago now
The
or six.
niche, Nice,
Huh?
nice, whatever.
Nice? Oh, it was in
Nice.
Paris.
Yeah. Oh, in
I mean, I
Paris.
don't know. Maybe it was there too. I don't know.
Or it was a truck attack in Nice. That's what it was.
Yeah, this was like guys driving. I don't know if it was a truck or a van or what, and they would just pull over and just mow everyone down like in a restaurant.
Holy
There was a
crap.
restaurant where I don't know if there's like 80 people dead or something like that. They just mowed everyone down.
That's insane.
Actually, I don't think it was that high in the one restaurant I'm thinking of. They said like 25 people died in a restaurant that seats 28 or something. So it's just like everybody died pretty much.
Jeez.
Super sad too because they're like interviewing survivors and a couple of the people like their sister was at you know they're like they're all on the floor hitting the deck at the Bataclan because the terrorists are like reloading and keep firing. And the dude's like hanging on to his sister, and he knows that she's probably been hit because she's like says she can't get up. But he's like, "Come on, we gotta stay with it." And then finally, when the police come or whatever, and they get a break to go, he's like trying to get his sister up, and she's just stiff, like she just died while everything was going on. Really fucked up.
Man.
Anyway, the point is, I was like kind of stressed out, and then we're watching this about a bunch of people who are completely helpless terrorists. So I'm like, dude, this is not helping. And then I went, oh yeah, this is the point. Then I went home and I played Mario for like 4 hours. I felt a lot better.
Nice. Why does she just want to watch depressing stuff?
Um, because it's I don't know, interesting, I guess. She pretty much just binge watches Netflix, so that was on Netflix. And it was just she had already watched like one, so we rewatched that and then watched the next one.
Yeah.
Then she like, we like parted ways as roommates and all that. Seems like she's gotten a lot more political.
Your mom has?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like,
she's on the right still, right? Your aunt's on the
yeah,
left.
but she didn't really pay attention to the news and stuff that much.
Oh,
But
I
now
see.
she's been paying attention to the news a lot, or at least like reacting to it or whatever.
I see.
Just think, I don't know. I think it's because she doesn't get as much social interaction. So like, you know, when you're not doing anything, you can just read the news and feel like things are happening.
Yeah, that's true. Actually, I totally understand that feeling. Like,
Yeah, that's
may as well keep up on the news. At
pretty
least
much what I do.
it feels productive to stay up on the news, even if it's like, I don't know.
A man at a Houston aquarium bar walked over to a couple at the bar, got a gun, and shot them himself. The police said the shooting appears to be broken.
Weird.
Just out of the bar. Some man was
That's crazy.
like, what the hell? What is wrong with your country?
Yeah.
Not your country. Some of your states. Some of your states.
Thursday.
Yeah, well, I ran. I DVR'd it. I gotta go. I think Jeffrey Dahm is mowing the sidewalk up here or something.
Oh my gosh, so you're having car problems over here?
Yeah, I think I ran out of gas.
Well, I'll give you a ride to the Quick Trip.
The what?
The Quick Trip.
Oh, I'm all
Then how
set there,
they're
boss. I'm married, but good luck
nice
with
and
your
they'll
lawn.
I
probably
insist.
pay
I
you
got a
for your
gas can down there in the back of my truck, and the
your,
truck's souped up. It's got AC and
transition
everything.
for
AC, you
vacation.
said, huh? All right.
Yeah,
Kind of
let's
makes
roll the
sense
dice
though,
on this
because like
quickie trip.
they
Hey,
gave
Ma.
me a
No, I'm still
consulting
in,
contract,
where
and
are
then
we?
Wisconsin.
they're just gonna put me on as an
Canada.
employee
What are you doing?
anyways,
There's no traffic
and
here.
they're gonna be the ones paying the social security and stuff. So it's like, you know, an extra 5 grand, like you said, or whatever.
Yeah.
It's just kind of funny because it's like, I don't know, it's a bigger deal to me, but I guess to them it's just whatever. It's just paying an employee, I guess.
Yeah. I mean, it's I guess you could say it's Citibank's money anyway, since it's all their funding from them, right?
Oh, is that part of it? They're not. It's a little bit more not so personal because like they're borrowing the money anyway.
Yeah, I mean, it's just part of the process. You sell equity to the seed investors and the Series A investors, and use that to hire engineers, try to make a product go. But it's not like coming out of anybody's pocket, really. Citibank's taking a risk by investing in us, and then we're taking a risk by investing in employees and stuff. It just kind of
You know,
flows down.
that actually does kind of explain it a little bit when I'm tripped up on some, because like at Gina Maria's, I don't think there's a bank or anything. Well, actually, no, that's not right. He was really far in debt. Like apparently they almost went into bankruptcy, and his wife, who's like a CPA or something like that, um, she was like a regulator or something. But anyways, she stopped her job to like do the finances for the company and righted the ship apparently. Otherwise, they would have been out of business.
Yeah,
And but like it's, you know, sure they're borrowing money from the bank, but I think it's basically like it's their money, you know.
right.
Uh, so like they'll send people home when it's slow, even though it's like, well, dude, now it's not like there's less work to do. We're gonna be here till 1 a.m. today because like you didn't let us keep that one guy on. So now instead of 3 people doing, you know, 3 things, you get 2 people doing 3 things inefficiently.
Exactly.
I gotta try to cut those corners. You know? So maybe that's the mentality difference right there. I don't know.
Probably also just less money to go around. Like when you're a small restaurant or something, you've got like tight margins. You gotta like, I don't know, get customers and stuff. And even then, you're not hauling that much profit. You're always like on the edge of bankruptcy. Whereas when you're in like, fintech and stuff, there's so much seed money. Like if we ever got tight on cash, we could just raise another round. Nothing stopping us from issuing more shares and having another funding round, right? Could always do that. There's like a lot of leeway. It's a big cushion. A big cush. Who's top? Oh, Gwen. Oh, this will be fun. Gwen's a cool character. I think Akali's supposed to counter her, but we'll see what happens. Oh god, teleport ignite. That's scary. The only people who give up flash are like people who are really good.
Apparently, shelters are getting more and more petting. Ah,
Oh yeah. People adopting pets for COVID and then just returning them after COVID. Kinda
What?
sad. Yeah, I mean
no,
everyone's at
that
home.
is terrible.
Yeah. Returning adopted pets in mass.
Dude, that's like what people do at Walmart, but with
Yeah.
a pet. That's so bad.
I remember people would try to return goldfish at Walmart because I worked in the pet section. I'm like, I don't think I can just I don't know how to return that goldfish, man.
What?
Dude, the goldfish is like $5, dude. You're trying to return it to me? Like what? How do I know this isn't just a fish you got from the lake or something? Like what the stuff you'd have to do at Walmart
Do
was
they
like
want the
so
money back?
weird. Yeah, they wanted like $5. It was like random fish they brought me. I'm like, dude, I don't know if I can take that. Like, yeah, man, it's, it's a good fish, man. It's a good fish. You can sell it. Look, it's still alive. I'm like,
I'm gonna talk to Josh though. I'll maybe talk to you later.
all right, see ya.
See ya.
It's a perfectly working fish. It's got all of his limbs. Or I guess it's not limbs for a fish. Gills are in great working order. Oh Jesus, this guy's got ignite too. I gotta run.
Wait, Ohio now allows doctors to deny LGBT.
First blood.
I thought doctors take an oath to not deny healthcare to any.
Yeah, but then it goes into like Texas's constitution and whether like gender reconstruction surgery is like healthcare or not. You know, is it healthcare or is it more like breast augmentation? That's not healthcare, right? That's an elective surgery. So Texas would argue that like, you know, gender transition is an elective surgery. Which I don't think that's really a bad argument to make. I mean, I would say it should be funded. But I'd also say it's hard to say that it is healthcare.
No, Matt. They're allowed to refuse to administer any medical treatment that violates their moral, ethical, or religious beliefs. It is not just treatment for turning someone. It is any sort of healthcare to somebody who is LGBT. That's wrong.
I don't know, I could almost be for that. Like if Islamic
If somebody who is LGBTQ is dying, those could literally not save their life because they're like, oh yeah, they're gay. I don't want to. That this is what it is.
does that really let you do that? That seems pretty far if that's the
That's what he
case.
said.
But if it's
They
surgery
allow
based
medical
on
providers to refuse to administer any medical treatment that violates their moral, ethical, or religious beliefs.
no, I'm 100% for that. Like, what if someone who's Islamic comes in and wants like female, you know, circumcision? Like, of course that goes against my morals, right? So I'm not going to do that surgery. No, that could be considered that's as much a medical treatment as gender reassignment surgery. It is. They're both elective procedures.
Medical procedures are coded. You can't randomly do shit. But this is how like
Would you say breast augmentation is a medical procedure? Is that life-saving care, or can that be denied?
it is because if it's for breast reconstruction,
Oh yeah, breast reconstruction is a different thing. I'm just asking about augmentation, right? It's just a choice.
Different surgeries are different code, differently.
Something that's not a matter of like health or life or death.
This is saying any medical treatment. Anyone. That's what I'm saying. Obviously, I agree with you if it's about a specific type of treatment. Yeah, okay, maybe you can choose one of two.
And that
But
sounds
this is
pretty
saying that
crazy.
they can deny any sort of treatment to anybody. I don't think that's right if they're becoming a doctor. Actually, like based on religious belief, doesn't that mean that you can deny medical treatment to somebody?
Oh, I mean, it depends on the treatment, right?
No. You literally said any medical treatment. I know
Seems pretty crazy.
you're saying it depends on the treatment. Yeah, I kind of agree with that. Sure, there's some treatments that are cosmetic. But Ohio allows you to deny any medical treatment to anyone based on
That seems pretty crazy. Did it pass state law? And can you go to court over people refusing to do certain treatments for you? It seems like something you get to get a lawsuit for. Like if a doctor doesn't treat your heart attack because you're gay, you can take him to court. You can win a ton of lawsuits, right? So I don't think that's the kind of law that would ever hold up. If anything, it would get thrown out in the Supreme Court within a week. But if it's something that's like, oh, I can deny patients.
I'm very into a last-minute amendment to the state's 2-year budget bill. This thing it says that it allows anyone providing medical care, from doctors and nurses to researchers and lab techs, and anyone paying for that care, such as teachers and providers, the freedom to decline to perform, participate in, or pay for any healthcare service which violates the practitioner's
Yeah.
informed by moral, ethical. Therefore, it's anything. As long as they think that ethical is anything goes.
I mean, it seems pretty batshit crazy. And it actually passed? I just don't believe it. Like, that's gonna get thrown out so quick in the Supreme Court. If it actually passed the state law, it's gonna get thrown out. Or no doctor is gonna practice it because of lawsuits.
The bill is overwhelmingly opposed by the medical community in Ohio. But
Yeah.
it's still passed. Because of politicians.
We'll have to see if it gets upheld or if anybody actually makes use of it or anything.
No one told me.
With this newly enacted language in place, a medical provider could refuse to prescribe PrEP to LGBTQ patients.
Yeah.
That's not right, because PrEP is like prevention, like treatment, the prevention
Yep.
of HIV.
That seems pretty batshit crazy. No, of course
Also,
not.
you should be giving PrEP to. PrEP is not just for people who are LGBT. PrEP is also for people who are straight.
No, of
Because
course
you can
not.
pass HIV.
Seems pretty batshit crazy. We'll have to see if it holds up.
It is held out. What do you mean? It's already passed. Is this now? It's just in there. I guess some people.
I don't know. It sounds pretty batshit crazy though.
I know Ohio. The government insisted that this provision is fine.
That's pretty crazy. One of the craziest things I've ever heard in my life. Reaching levels of crazy I've never even encountered before.
Leave them for someone who needs them.
They say that the only reason this passed through as a random add into another bill is because it would never have passed as a final.
Wow, that's pretty
You know,
crazy.
The tactic they always have, like attack on thousands.
Yeah, that's pretty crazy. They should make that illegal.
I get a pack full of trouble and nothing but time. Magic's fine. Steel's better.
People say this literally means that you can actually deny it.
That's pretty crazy. That should be illegal.
But I'm wondering how you know how it's not just you can't just deny
Yeah.
You decide.
Pretty crazy. It sounds like it should be illegal. Said it's pretty crazy. It sounds like it should be illegal.
But I wonder what happens when people use it. Like it's not against the law, but it's against the
They can't stop me.
Yeah.
They can track me.
do medical questions. I don't know how to open. It's like when lawyers sign what's it called in the bar. So they have to also.
Yeah.
I don't know how professional.
The old ways. If you look dangerous, you better be dangerous.
Enemy killing spree.
Forget balance. This is a reckoning.
Shut down. An ally has been slain. An enemy has been slain.
Everyone's got a weakness. That's my target.
Do you have anything to eat up, sorry?
Not right now.
I work alone. It's better for everyone. The Fist of Shadows.
Got him.
Finally. Let's do this.
Turret plating will soon fall. An ally has been slain.
Restraint's not really my thing.
An ally has been slain. Shut down. Killing spree.
It's not the killing.
Enemy triple kill.
My personal belief is that this is a sea change. There is no going back to status quo. If one company tries, they're going to be met with 10 others that have maintained the experiment. So I think we've turned a corner.
When I fled the office in March 2020, I left a half-empty coffee cup on my desk to get lost, and I left my gym bag under my chair. I remember thinking, who knows this, but I'll come back for that later. Turns out I was half fired. I have to live all of our lives upside down. And now that vaccinations are proving to be effective, we're flipping upside down once more. These days, we know how to quarantine, how to wear a mask, how to social distance, and how to work from home during a global pandemic. But after say that we failed to solve this on, and will now need to live with the coronavirus pandemic. which means that with many companies, mine included, when workers back to the office this fall, I now need to know how to work in the office during the COVID pandemic. In April 2020, 70% of Americans were working remote, according to Gallup. Today, that share is closer to 6%, even though 61% still work from now, workers are losing their jobs at the highest rate in 20 years. In fact, it's the highest rate ever reported by the BLS. 4 million people quit their jobs in April 2021 alone. My name is Abigail Johnson Hess. You all can call me AJ. I'm a multimedia reporter for CNBC Naked. And this is what's next. If anyone can tell us about the future of work, it's Brian Well, Google's Vice President of People Analytics, and Amy Webb. Amy is the founder of the Future Today Institute. She's also a professor of strategic foresight at NYU Stern School of Business and a visiting fellow at Oxford University Said School of Business. She's a quantitative futurist, which means she uses data to build models, find emerging trends, and then uses that info to find plausible outcomes. So I wanted to talk to get her take to see if the changes the pandemic made on work culture would actually stick.
Hey there. How's it going? Going well. How are you doing? I recently moved, but I'm currently thinking about whether or not I should unpack my formal wear for work. My boss is preparing me to come back to the office. I feel like I have to relearn how to do that all over again. This has been on a lot of people's minds. What does the future of the office look like? What does that footprint look like? Where is it? What's the work from home configuration for teams? And how do we manage our reentry into the world of the physical and the living? A lot of companies that are allowing hybrid work aren't allowing people to work from home Monday and Friday. So what does that tell us about the future of transit? It means Tuesday through Thursday is going to be hell for anybody who's trying to commute with a car. And what does that mean? Well, that's a signal for local cities, administrations who could right now be adjusting what those traffic patterns look like, but we know they're not doing that, right? So I think we're looking for there's going to be gridlock in ways that we just haven't seen before and haven't anticipated.
But the changes to the way we work are much deeper than how many days we go into the office or what rush hour looks like.
I do think one of the outcomes of COVID is a lot more people working in fractional roles. So this is somebody who might work for 4 companies or 5 companies, giving each one 10 hours a week.
And our work relationships will also change. We are all going to have to relearn how to socialize and get along with each other, which unfortunately could lead to more conflicts in the office.
I'm not comfortable predicting what the future of work is totally going to look like. I am absolutely comfortable predicting the prevalence of more and more viruses in our lives, right? So what are we going to do? Are we going to keep having this debate and discussion about vaccines? The answer is yes. And in this country, we're going to wind up with a bifurcation that cuts across weird socioeconomic, religious, educational spaces, but is very deeply rooted in misinformation.
Webb says that the thought political climate of the past year will not just disappear when we return to the office.
We are coming off of the killing of George Floyd. That hasn't been resolved. We have a lot of underlying tensions that had nothing to do with the pandemic that we're all going to have to contend with once we're back in each other's presence.
Webb says that the next 24 months will be a sort of disorienting phase, a kind of puberty as we awkwardly try and return to the office, mask acne and all. So I spoke with Brian Well. He's the Vice President of People Analytics at Google, and he's a data guy who constantly thinks about how workers are feeling and what makes workers most productive. And if any company is on the bleeding edge of the future of work, it's Google. I wanted to know, if productivity didn't drop, why do we need to go back to the office at all?
Saw that productivity and performance did actually shift. As we were shifting into new ways of working, we very quickly geared up our survey infrastructure to reach out to our employees and ask them critical questions along the way. And one of them was a very simple question about productivity. I regularly reach high levels of productivity. And it's a question we had asked in the past in our surveys. And in the first couple of weeks of everyone shifting to working from home, the responses plummeted by 15 points or more.
But as Google continued to survey its employees, Brian saw an upward trajectory as his team acclimated to working from home. It didn't take long for productivity to reach pre-pandemic levels.
The first thing that we learned is that only talking about productivity really doesn't meet the employee where they're at. Productivity is important, but I will not say to my team, we were amazingly productive, how great it is that we can continue to be productive going forward, because even though that's true, the reaction is, yeah, but can we also talk about the toll it's on? Can we talk about what I didn't get from my coworkers and from you when we were in the space of not connecting? Where we ended up as a company is offering as much flexibility as we could to enable Google employees to optimize for themselves while also giving teams what they needed. A default option that we think most employees are going to take advantage of, which is coming into the office 3 days a week and working from another location 2 days a week. It lets you do all the things we came to love about working from home, while also getting that moment of connection and the ability to do innovative work in person in the office.
I got a
What Google's thinking is the way that's going to make the most people happy is giving them more control, right? It's saying, here's the general framework, but after this crazy year where you felt like you've had control of nothing, we're going to let you control where you work Mondays and Fridays or whatever day. So not to get too philosophical, but what do you think that control does for workers who might be struggling after this past year?
For many employees, there was this sort of anxiety about what comes next. So all of the tough decisions that you made to get through the last year, if you feel as though Google can unravel all of that by requiring you to come into the office 5 days a week, that's a source of anxiety. Control, I think, is actually a sense of relief. When it came to work productivity, where can I do my best thinking? Where can I do my best coding? Where can I be do my best work? We've got some people who say from home, some people who say from the office, and almost an equal percentage of them who said it doesn't matter. So wouldn't it be easy if it were nice and simple, down the way, you could categorize people into one or the other, and it's not that way?
Is there a solution for those companies who can't kind of go to the end of the year that it seems like Google's going to try and make as many people as happy as possible?
Yeah, this is one of those things that I don't think money is the biggest issue for many of them. So let me just acknowledge that many Google employees aren't going to get what they want either. Because they might be in a job that requires them to work in a particular location. We are hoping that most people can find what they're looking for, but there are actual role constraints and job constraints and business constraints that dictate a little bit. So it's not like we've created this environment where everybody just gets everything that they want. It's complicated.
Paint me a picture. What are going to be some of the big changes physically to Google's offices?
The reasons that people need to be in the office, like when you really get down into what kind of work are they doing, a lot of it is around collaboration, innovation, the social part of work. And so what Google is doing now is like looking at our workspace and say, how can we optimize it for those kinds of activities?
Google's new configuration reads as if it were written in a science fiction novel. At Google's new campfire spaces, in-person attendees sit in a circle interspersed with impossible to ignore large vertical displays, so virtual participants are on the same footing as those physically present. Think Star Trek. Brian says we simply are not going back to what work was like before, in part because companies like Google still need to compete for talent. And after workers survived the past year, many put a premium on flexibility and control.
My personal belief is that this is a sea change. There is no going back to status quo. If one company tries, they're going to be met with 10 others that have maintained the experiment. So I think we've turned a corner, an exciting one.
The rules hold you back.
Enemy killing spree. Shut down.
They can't stop me. They could try. Magic's fine. Steal that now. Heal me now. We're gonna do this now. Quick and deadly. I work alone. It's better for everyone.
No. Close.
The title of this video sounds dramatic. We know what works on YouTube and what fails. Fear sells, but this video is not about selling you an exaggerated version of events that point to America's downfall. Instead, this is a real, powerful story backed by history and validated by data right in front of our eyes. We are currently living in an era that will surely be highlighted in the history books. America has begun to recover from the world's most significant pandemic in nearly 100 years. Real estate is booming, prices are surging, and the economy, according to the stock market, is headed towards nirvana. The question on everyone's mind is this too good to be true? Can we really just print trillions of dollars and buy our way out of a pandemic, or are we in the largest bubble known to man? Dancing on 96% bubble top will usher in a world of depression, violence, and despair. To answer this great question, I bring you this man. This right here is Lawrence Henry Summers. He's the man who laughed out the window last points in the Facebook movie as then president of Harvard. But more importantly, he's the former U.S. Secretary of Treasury under the Clinton administration. Mr. Summers recently appeared on Bloomberg